up in the info war and say, I don't know what's going to happen at the end of this, but you want to fight, you better believe you got one.
From the front lines of the information war, it's Alex Jones.
Talk of a trucker boycott of the city of New York to protest the persecution of President Trump. Now, liberals seem to think that this is a pretty funny idea. Let me tell you a quick story. A couple years ago, a Colorado trucker was involved in a terrible accident, loss of life. It was tragic. The Colorado judge sentenced that trucker to 110 years in prison. And now you decide for yourself whether or not he deserved that prison sentence, but when truck drivers from around America heard about that sentence, they organized a boycott against the state of Colorado. And within a month, they brought the state of Colorado to its knees. That judge resentenced that trucker from 110 years to 10 years in prison. The point is, MAGA patriots make this country run. Liberals, they make our coffee. This is Trucker Jake. God bless President Trump. God bless MAGA America. God bless our truckers. Y'all have a blessed day.
What's up, fam? So, you guys remember this movie? Kurt Russell. Remember how the area looked in the movie? That's what New York City is going to look like in the next few months. So there's reports now that the truckers all across this country on Monday will no longer be accepting any loads to New York. So not only have you lost your residence, you also lost your businesses, or soon to be losing almost all your businesses, and now you done lost your supply chain. Good luck. I wish.
You're in New York, you better get up out of there. I think groceries are high now. Y'all better respect Trump gangsters, and y'all better respect. They're not playing. As you can see, they're not playing. Keep going around. You're going to find out, New York.
The people still have the power. Once the driverless cars and trucks are in place and the robots are in control, the real trouble starts. But humanity's waking up fast. That's why they're trying to take out the leadership that's battling the New World Order. That's why they're trying to take out Trump, yours truly, Tucker Carlson, and others. And that's why, ladies and gentlemen, I thank you for your prayers, your support at InfoWarsStore.com, but most importantly, your word of mouth, because I'm not doing this to lose. And you got all the power when you decide to share this show and share the clips. And you're doing it, you're having a big effect. All right, we've got a gigantic show lined up today. So many huge subjects. We're going to cover them all. And we're doing a deep dive with 4 coroners, embalmers, you name it, coming on about the massive blood clots killing millions. And the scientific data and the studies admit it, but these are the actual coroners that are pulling things out of people they've never seen before. Not to mention all the dead babies. Stay with us. In 60 seconds, I don't have time to tell you about all the incredible ingredients in Turbo Force. If you simply go to InfoWarsStore.com and look at the list of ingredients and look them up, every one of them is known to give you boosted, clean, focused energy without the letdown. We're talking up to 10 hours of clean energy per serving with Turbo Force, exclusively available at InfoWarsStore.com. And it's discounted right now. And it doesn't just boost your body's clarity and focus and stamina. It also funds the InfoWar. So it's a 360 win. If you've never tried Turbo Force, now is the time. It's got 5-star reviews. Turbo Force at InfoWarsStore.com will take your energy and your clarity to the next level without the letdown, and it funds the info war. A true 360 win. So go get Turbo Force today at InfoWarsStore.com, and I know you will not be disappointed because thousands of others have gotten it and it has 5-star reviews. Get Turbo Force now.
Big Brother, mainstream media, government cover-ups. You want to stop tyranny? Well, so does he. Live from the Infowars.com studios, it's Alex Jones.
It's Monday, February 19th, 2024. I'm your host, Alex Jones. So thankful that you've all decided to join us today. We're 259 days, 12 hours, 53 minutes, 40 seconds out for the most important election in world history. And we are live on air in defiance of the globalists, reaching more people than ever thanks to all of your actions, spreading the word about the broadcast, supporting the broadcast, and praying for the broadcast. As usual, total information overload, absolutely insane, over-the-top incredible developments in the Ukraine war, and Congress refusing to put forward the funding, and now the Ukrainian NATO forces in full retreat. We've got that stack of news. We also have the huge trucker protest that's starting, and this was done in several areas of the country in the last decade with total success. Colorado being one of the biggest examples a few years ago. Truckers are saying they're not going to deliver food or anything else to New York for years. And the vast majority of them are linking up and doing it, not through some union, but through a human union of common sense and common defense. And it is going to absolutely further devastate Donald Trump. We won't do this to you. Yeah, right. Clean up on aisle Ingergon. Hochul attempts to reassure New York businesses they won't suffer Trump's legal fate. Obscene award against Trump is testing the New York legal system's integrity. Daily Mail. Does anyone believe this? New York governor tells businesses they have nothing to fear after Democrat state leaders fleeced Donald Trump for $355 million. We're talking about another $100 million or $95 million in interest payments. It's $450 million. And it just continues on from there. So that's a very important stack. San Francisco appoints first non-citizen to its election commission. Fox's guarding the hen house. He ingested a drug. Former YouTube CEO's son found dead in UC Berkeley dorm. Probably a fentanyl. Very, very sad. And it's even more sad because the former CEO famously did 2 different interviews where she said one reason she was banning me off YouTube was because her 15-year-old son wouldn't stop watching Alex Jones. Well, he obviously wasn't listening to me enough, but he was a listener, he was a fan, according to her, and now he's dead at 19. These globalists think they're immune from their own system. They're not. He ingested a drug. Former YouTube CEO's son found dead in UC Berkeley dorm. Very sad. My son won't quit watching Alex Jones. It's terrible. I have to debate him about Alex Jones being bad. That's why I'm happily banning Alex Jones. So my son and other children and young people can't see him. That's basically word for word what she said. We can dig the clips up. But very, very sad. CIA had foreign allies spy on Trump. Those more documents coming out on that front. 80% of Americans test positive for chemical found in Cheerios and Quaker Oats that is linked to infertility and gender bending. We're going to be looking at all of that critical information. Also, New York PD mocked after unveiling overweight female dance team as crime soars. National Health Service comes out in the UK and says trans milk as good as real thing. Absolute cuckoo for cuckoo puffs land, and so much more. Now, the big deep dive, and I'm going to drill into all this in a moment, that we'll be doing in the second and third hour today, is I'm having a bunch of embalmers and undertakers, funeral home operators come on. And I have 3 stacks of studies in science and J&J and AstraZeneca and Pfizer and Moderna admitting their injections cause these synthetic giant blood clots. These big rubbery, horrible, tuberous things. And we'll be going over all that, but there's nothing like knowing the source. Look, if you're watching on TV, this is a giant clot taken out of a deceased man, out of his carotid artery in the throat, never before seen. And it's not a normal clot that's red, because it's made of basically other parts of the blood. It's synthetic. Richard Hirschman will be joining us, funeral director and embalmer. And then we have several other embalmers and funeral directors and undertakers coming on to tell you their stories. And they said it was like a light switch being flipped on. As soon as the shot started in January 2021, within weeks, their businesses were booming. And then they would go in to drain the blood and put in the embalming fluid, the formaldehyde. So, you know, when you have an open casket in 3 or 4 days, your family can come look at you and you're all done up with your makeup and your suit and everything. Everybody can say bye. It's nice closure. And they never seen these. Other clots sometimes were small and red, but it was rare to see them. And usually from the death certificate that they died of blood clots. But just suddenly it was just all these.
To do that, I get Sachs is the big one because we've heard of it. But again, if you ask people in the league, they'll tell you that's not the be-all, end-all. And I'm not necessarily out to debate whether or not he deserved it. I just told you he is going to win it. So many people were on me about TJ Watt, Steelers. So much so that I've had a guy in my email for 3 months telling me how wrong I was going to be. I look forward to responding to that later this afternoon. I've been crafting that message a little bit, so I look forward to getting back to that one there. I also saw TJ Watt took to social media last night and said, "Nothing I'm not used to. Nothing I'm not used to." So used to it, you went online and cried like a girl? Is that how used to it you are? That you're petulantly crying like a baby about it? You can't even go to the awards show? Or, by the way, you can't even congratulate all the other nominees? You're just going to sit on social media and cry like a 13-year-old girl about it? Man, what a big tough guy TJ Watt is. What an absolute baby. Now, take the high road, TJ. Take the high road. What is the matter with people today? I'm not saying you got to congratulate Miles over and over and over again about it, but hey, I'm proud to be mentioned in the class of these athletes, blah, blah, blah. Here's the PR statement written by the Steelers. And put it out. Nothing I'm not used to. So used to it that you had to cry about it.
The Stansberry Show on Rock 106.9.
9 a.m., let's rock the bank. Get you that $1,000 you need to head into your weekend. Those keywords presented by Beavers Marine. Find Beavers Marine in Atwood Lake or online, beaversmarinestore.com. With the weather where it's been the last couple of days, it's almost ready to be boat time right now. Feeling a little summery out there yesterday. I could create words. We'll rock the bank with you at 9 a.m. this morning. All right, I would have never guessed that this would be something I was going to talk about. When I saw Larry David, one of the creators of the Seinfeld show, and also then Curb Your Enthusiasm for anybody that might not know who Larry David is. The Costanza character is based around Larry David. And he was one of the head writers there. He and Jerry go way back. And Larry David is hilarious. Like, he is. Now, I know he's old and got the gray hair and he's boomer humor, right? But he is a funny guy. I don't love everything today's show. And I think Elmo was there for some reason. Because I don't know. Welcome to daytime TV. I mean, the news people dress up as Supergirl on Halloween, so I mean, who the hell knows what's happening? And so apparently he choked Elmo as like a bit. Like he just like jumps behind the couch, and I gotta admit, it didn't necessarily come off. At first it was like, oh, okay, Larry David's being Larry David. And then as it went on, it was like, okay, this is starting to feel a little strange now. A little just weird now. And welcome to it, right? Things kind of get away from you. Some of you Star Trek fans especially will know the name Will Wheaton. Others of you will know Will Wheaton from The Big Bang Theory. Wheaton! Right? Will Wheaton saw this and then decided to write a 4-page dissertation crying about Larry David choking an Elmo. I'll try to pull most of this from Will Wheaton's actual Facebook page, but he drones on here a little bit. But let's see what Will Wheaton's issue with choking out Elmo on television was. So I heard about Larry David assaulting Elmo on television, but I didn't watch it until now because I knew it would upset me. Put a pin in that. Holy yes, he says. It's even worse than I thought. What the F is wrong with that guy? Elmo is like the best friend to multiple generations of children. Really? Is he? I mean, I remember the talking Elmo doll. People kind of went nuts over that, but like I don't really, and again, I don't have kids that watch Sesame Street, so maybe, I don't know. In the Sesame Street universe, Elmo is a child who is currently putting mental health and caring for others in the spotlight. Okay? He probably is. That I don't know about. And Larry effing David did that and thought it was going to be funny? What? What an a-hole, he says. What a stupid, self-centered, tone-deaf a-hole. Full disclosure. All the time when I was growing up, my dad would grab me by the shoulders and shake me while he screamed in my face. He choked me more than once. He was always out of control, always in a furious rage, and always terrifying. I am a 51-year-old man, I suppose, Will, and my heart is pounding right now. I'm recalling how I felt when I was a little boy who loved Grover the way today's kids love Elmo. I gotta be honest with you. Now, I'm not 51 yet, maybe that happens around the corner, right? But like, I don't spend a lot of time thinking about like, Big Bird, that's my homie, right? Like, I don't be doing that, right? This is appalling, unforgivable, despicable act hits more than one raw nerve for me. Right, for you, Will. Will Wheaton goes on to say, and I'm going to say what I wish I'd been able to say when this sort of thing happened to me. Larry David, this was not okay. And your obviously insincere apology clearly communicates that you don't get that. Yeah, Larry David was kind of forced to apologize, and I don't believe he meant it either. We know how apologies kind of work. It's like, well, I did the thing. Like, I'm not really all that sorry about it, but I know people like Will Wheaton are going to cry about it, and so now I got to pretend like I care about this. It says, first of all, you aren't even in that segment, but you just decided to barge in and draw focus because why? You couldn't stand that a puppet brought people together in a meaning. Oh my God, I can't even finish reading this. I can't even finish reading this. If watching a Muppet get strangled by a boomer comedian makes you think about your father, your therapist did a terrible job, Will Wheaton.
Live from the Hall of Fame City, and just as bad as NFL officiating, The Stansberry Show on Rock 1069.
Starting Monday on the program, I'm going to get you into Creed. That show has Three Doors Down on it, Mammoth, Wolfie Van Halen as well. I believe Finger 11's on that too, actually. But I'll have tickets next week for you. Looking forward to that. I've already started going through the song categories in here, looking at all the Creed. I'm gonna be pulling some stuff out next week. They're at the point where they may be underrated now. They were maybe overrated in the height of them. They might be underrated now. Maybe we'll talk about that. We had been talking about Will Wheaton. Hey, Todd! Will Wheaton decided to cry all over social media about the fact that Larry David choked out Elmo on TV. Now, what I will say is the Today Show felt like a weird venue for that, right? Like, geez, dude, what's happening here? But I kind of took Larry David as being Larry David, and like, he's an actual talent versus somebody who just can be made to be pretty once you put 9 pounds of makeup on their faces. And that's what most daytime TV show people, well, Larry David's, I think so. But I think your dad shaking you by the shoulders, still haunting you at 51, is a little like, all right, man, like stuff from your childhood. If you live in fear of it every day, that's on you. Like it is. at some point, and Will Wheaton, I know, has enough money to seek the help he wants. Because everybody's on me now about the mental health thing, right? I took some text at the text line. Became aware of the power of Elmo through this. For Larry to do this was short-sighted. Of this? Yeah, I think I am. Because I've said about the mental health crisis in this country, and believe you me, there is one. We say there is, but when anybody acts crazy or something's like went from being abnormal and weird to like the new normal, and you say, oh, that was kind of strange, right? Look at that. It has nothing to do with mental health. So I want to know what does. Because anytime you see something like, I don't know, man, I feel like your mental health is making that kind of a thing. Is that maybe mental health that's happening right there? Everybody tells you you're intolerant. So are we dealing with one or not? Because anytime you see anything anywhere and you go, I bet that's part of it, people go, oh my God, awful. Also, this country went from denying issues forever to now everybody just gets to raise their hand and say, I'm in the club. Now, Will Wheaton probably is. But we've simplified this now and just made it easy. There are things that happen to you that are traumatizing. But after a certain point, it is on you to figure it out. It is on you to try to get the help you need. Now, I would be way more lenient, or forgiving is the right way to say it. Lenient makes it sound like I have power and I don't. I'd be more forgiving of this to you and Alliance right now versus somebody who has the time, money, and opportunity to seek the help that they need. Will Wheaton started the whole diatribe out, by the way. I didn't watch it until now because I knew it was going to affect me. So you knew this is how it was going to make you react, and you watched it anyway. And the problem is Larry David? I've said this about my own issue. For people that don't know, and way to bring the mood down on a Friday morning, but here we go. I was assaulted by a neighbor, physically, sexually. You know what I mean? And I have made jokes about that throughout my career. And people get upset about it. And I've always said, so wait, I went through it though. And like that's normally the thing where you don't get to tell a victim how they feel. You don't get to tell it. And I've always said it doesn't bother me like that. I'm okay talking about it. I'm okay making jokes about it. It took me a while to get there. It took me some therapy to get there, but I'm okay with it. Well, other people that have been through it are not tough. To which I always say, why do they get what they want and I don't get what I want? We both went through it. Why? Because they don't want to see anything. They never want to talk about it. They never want to hear it. Why are the jokes not okay? Because it's going to negatively. Now, I got to be honest with you, man. I don't want people laughing in my face about it, but can I joke about my situation? Sure. And am I going to get, like, triggered if other people joke about it? No. Might not be my favorite thing, but, like, I got the remote in my hand. I'm good. Why do the people who feel like take it all off the planet, why do they automatically win? If both people have been through the thing and one says, nah, man, I'm good with it, and the other says, no, we gotta get rid of it. Notice this, what this country does is go, here's the eraser, pretend it never happened, man. That's for sure gonna fix all of your problems.
Give Stansberry a piece of your mind. Use the talkback feature on the iHeartRadio app and let him know just how wrong he is. It's just wrong. The Stansberry Show on Rock 106.9.
9 a.m. this morning, we'll get that bank rocked with you. Pass out that first $1,000 keyword. Those presented by Beavers Marine. I keep telling you, man, you got Valentine's Day right around the corner. Now, shopping with our $1,000 better than shopping with yours. Score yourself that keyword at 9. You know, when I opened the show this morning, I obviously looked back at last night, the NFL honors and the like, and I left a name off the list, and a big one, Jim Schwartz, 2023 NFL Assistant Coach of the Year there. Yeah, he was vital, I think. I mean, Joe Woods, it just didn't look like he had his arms around the defensive scheme at all. Like, they just never looked prepared, motivated.